Welcome to Personality and Emotional Intelligence. The interdependent nature of personality and emotional intelligence is crucial to understand if enhancing development and effectiveness are goals. This training video will look at the crucial relationship between the personality and emotional triggers, as well as how gaining insight into your personality color blend will help you build and strengthen your emotional intelligence. In recent years, researchers have analyzed data from close to 500 competence models from global companies including Lucent, IBM, British Airways, Credit Suisse, First Boston, and PepsiCo, as well as from healthcare organizations, government agencies, academic settings, and religious orders, to determine which personal capabilities drove outstanding performance within these organizations. Capabilities were grouped into three categories: purely technical skills, such as business planning or accounting; cognitive abilities, such as analytic reasoning; and traits showing emotional intelligence, such as self-awareness and relationship skills. Competency models were created by asking senior managers to identify the competencies that they believe set apart the organization's most outstanding leaders. Some researchers used more rigorous method that had their senior managers use objective criteria, such as a division's profitability, to distinguish the star performers at senior levels from average ones. The star performers were then extensively interviewed and tested, and their competencies were methodically compared to identify those that distinguished star performers. When the data was analyzed from hundreds of competence models, the results were dramatic. To be sure, intellect was to some extent a driver of outstanding performance. Cognitive skills such as big picture thinking and long-term vision were particularly important. But when the comparison matched star performers against average ones in senior leadership positions, about 85% of the difference in their profiles was attributable to emotional intelligence factors rather than to purely cognitive abilities like technical expertise. It was discovered that there was little variation in IQ among those holding advanced degrees such as an MBA. However, it was discovered that emotional intelligence contributes 80 to 90% of the competencies that distinguish outstanding from average leaders. So, what is emotional intelligence, and why is it relevant to personality? Because it so greatly impacts how we communicate and relate to other people. According to Daniel Goleman in his book Primal Leadership, Realizing the Power of Emotional Intelligence, emotional intelligence is concerned with two basic areas in a person's life: personal competence, which has to do with capabilities that determine how we manage ourselves, and social competence, which are the capabilities that determine how we manage relationships. These skills are also called interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. Interpersonal operates via person-to-person relationship and covers the whole gamut of social competencies, while interpersonal relates to inner states of being like self-awareness, metacognition, dreams, and spiritual reality. And of course, our interpersonal and intrapersonal parts of emotional intelligence extend to self-awareness, managing feelings, self-motivation, empathy or social or other awareness, and then social skills or relationship skills, which include self-awareness, spirituality, self-regard, assertiveness, independence, self-actualization, reality testing, achievement, drive, leadership, adaptability, stress management, frustration tolerance, zeal, passion, flexibility, impulse control, persistence, self-motivation, conflict management, problem solving, collaboration, conscientiousness, persuasiveness, optimism, initiative, empathy, sympathy, compassion, and of course enables you to be a strong change catalyst and achieve social responsibility. All of those emotional intelligent competencies fall into the category of centered personality tendencies, no matter what color or color blend your personality happens to be. Daniel Coleman has simplified emotional intelligence into 4 domains: self-awareness, self-management, empathy or social or other awareness, and relationship management or relationship skills, and 18 competencies. For instance, an emotional intelligent domain would be self-awareness. A competency in that domain would be accurate self-assessment. Emotional intelligence competencies are not innate talents, but learned abilities. Emotional intelligence is the pattern of how people's biases in their thinking, created by the colored lenses through which they view life, lead them to think one thing or choice is better than another, as well as their clarity in differentiating within those biases to exercise clear and sound judgment. Some people are naturally more emotionally intelligent than others, but emotionally intelligent skills can be learned, strengthened, and developed by anyone. That is one of the great benefits that Primary Colors Personality Insight Tools brings to the lives of those who choose to learn in much more depth about themselves and those around them. The Primary Colors Insight training has proven time and time again to increase emotional intelligence and a feeling of confidence and awareness in participants who experience the advanced personality training, and individuals with higher emotional intelligence enhance and increase the potential for positive outcomes. So let's look in detail at emotional intelligence competencies. When we are strengthening our emotional intelligence, we want to consider 3 areas: personal competence, emotional competence, and social competence. And these break down into 4 major categories. One is self-awareness, which is emotional self-awareness, accurate self-assessment, and self-confidence. The second is self-management, emotional self-control, transparency, adaptability, achievement, initiative, and optimism. The third, of course, is social or other awareness, which requires empathy, organizational awareness, and the understanding of a service orientation. And fourth is relationship management. We develop self-awareness, self-management, and social or other awareness so that we can be better relationship managers. Relationship management affects all areas of our life. Personally, our relationships with our partners, our beloved, our children, our family, our friends. But relationship management is also critical in a business setting, because relationship management is all about learning how to develop others. Relationship management is all about conflict management. It is about resolving disagreements first. Then, someone who is really sharp and understands relationship management also understands how to be a change catalyst, how to initiate, manage, and lead in a new direction. They understand how to develop others, bolster their abilities through feedback and guidance. They understand the importance of influence, wielding a range of tactics for persuasion and problem solving. They understand teamwork and collaboration, cooperation, working with purpose, and team building. They understand the importance of building bonds, cultivating, growing, and maintaining a web of relationships. And they understand the importance of inspiration, guiding and motivating others with a compelling vision. But let's go back and look a little deeper at self-awareness. Self-awareness is having a clear perception of your personality, including strengths, weaknesses, thoughts, beliefs, motivation, and emotions. Self-awareness allows you to understand other people and how they perceive you, your attitude, and your responses to them in the moment. From self-awareness, understanding one's emotion and being clear about one's purpose, flows self-management, the focused drive that all leaders need to achieve their goals. Without knowing what we're feeling, we're at a loss to manage those feelings. Instead, our emotions control us. Self-management, then, is the component of emotional intelligence that frees us from being a prisoner of our feelings. Whenever a person can understand their feelings, impulses, and tendencies, they have a choice over whether they will react out of their centered color personality strengths or out of their extreme color personality weaknesses. Let's take the emotional intelligence domain of self-management and break it down into its competencies. Let's look at initiative, readiness to act and seize opportunities. Achievement, the drive to improve performance to meet inner standards of excellence. Emotional self-control, keeping disruptive emotions and impulses under control. Adaptability, flexibility in adapting to changing situations or overcoming obstacles. Transparency, displaying honesty and integrity, trustworthiness. And optimism, seeing the upside in events. Along with self-awareness, the emotionally intelligent person needs to master social awareness or empathy. Empathy means taking others' feelings into thoughtful consideration and then making intelligent decisions that work those feelings into the response. Sensing others' emotions, understanding their perspective, and taking active interest in their concern. So why is it so important that we strengthen, learn, and develop these competencies, these emotionally intelligent competencies, such as empathy? According to Baron Cohen, if your attention has a single focus, your current interest, goal, wish, or plan, with no reference to another person or their thoughts or feelings, then your empathy is effectively switched off. In such a state of single-mindedness, the other person or their feelings no longer exist. Our social or other awareness, our empathy, our ability to relate to other people, is exactly how we create, maintain, grow, and thrive in relationships. When we understand the different personality color tendencies of the primary colors, personality insight tools, we can recognize what personality we are speaking to. Then we are better equipped to listen to them from a place of empathy and understanding versus judgment and condemnation. People who have a well-developed capacity for empathy listen carefully, a vital component for good communication. The triad of self-awareness, self-management, and empathy all come together in the last domain of emotional intelligence, relationship management. Relationship management requires that we learn to handle other people's emotions, personality tendencies both centered and extreme, with respect, compassion, and consideration. Managing relationships requires integrity, being who we say we are and being accountable, and doing what we say we'll do by when we say we'll do it. The Primary Colors Personality Insight tools help people strengthen their empathy, sympathy, and compassion for others. So to put this into everyday behavioral terms, the Primary Colors Personality Insight tools help you develop high emotional intelligence so that you behave in decisive, assertive, ambitious, driving, strong-willed ways, but not bossy, aggressive, demanding, egotistical, and confrontational, which come out of your extreme personality color tendencies. Or you behave in warm, enthusiastic, sociable, charming, persuasive ways versus glib, selfish, impulsive, a poor listener, or someone that is easily distracted. And of course, the Primary Colors Insight tools will strengthen your stability, your patience, your ability to be consistent, predictable, a great listener, instead of being passive, resistant, stubborn, or unresponsive, or slow in your reactions to other people's needs. In tough times, it is human instinct to follow emotions and be reactionary. While evolutionarily speaking, this may have helped humans in the past by causing us to run away from danger, for example. The same approach does not translate effectively in today's personal and business scenarios. Reactionary actions and behaviors at home and in the workplace are not the actions and behaviors that bring us the most successful results. A person's ability to manage emotions is an incredibly valuable and necessary quality. Having the ability to think through the options and calmly choose the best strategy can make all the difference. Rushed or emotionally driven decisions, influenced by panic or other extreme emotions, can have devastating consequences during any kind of personal or professional crisis. Bottom line, a high level of emotional intelligence can not only help people bypass emotional landmines, but also potentially turn challenges and crises into opportunities. As you can see, emotional intelligence is imperative to success, and utilizing the Primary Colors Personality and Insight tools is one of the best ways to develop, strengthen, and enhance your emotional intelligence skills.